natural expansion with those Hydralisks, but actually it doesn't look like that. So Jaedong just trying to get rid of all these Marines before medics pop out, I guess, and Jaedong just camping his Hydralisks out of the natural expansion so Fantasy cannot move out. And now Jaedong is going to be going for his Hive. And a couple of Vultures actually making it through. They're probably not going to do anything major in Jaedong's base because he does have a sunken there. And actually, he could go down to that natural expansion, which he is going to do. But we'll see how many drones Fantasy will be able to get rid of. He gets rid of 2 drones before his Vultures die, so I guess that was okay. And actually, if he can get that 3rd drone, that was nice, actually. He gets the 3rd drone and an SCV there, it's gonna die, not really doing much. And yeah. It looks like Fantasy is in fact going back into Medic Marine, because it's been popular lately to not stay with the mech build. And there's an Irradiate coming from Fantasy, and Jaedong with an okay split. He probably could have done it faster, seeing as he is Jaedong, but it's okay. And now 2 vessels out. Once Fantasy gets that huge Science Vessel fleet out, though, it will be kind of hard. And it looks like Jaedong might be going for a drop. He does have his forces positioned right there to the left of Fantasy's base. So, who knows? And now the Spire going up. It looks like Jaedong might be going for some sort of greater Spire action because he has not gotten Lurkers up yet, and so he'll have Hydras and Mutas, and that with Dark Swarm probably would not do very much. So we might be seeing some Guardians coming out, which would be kind of awesome. And actually, no, it looks like there might be a Lurker drop in the base, though. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like he does have 4 Lurkers and 2 Overlords, so, you know, the Lurkers fit perfectly into both of those Overlords, and no, he has 5 Lurkers, actually. And he's just going to burrow there, and, yeah. Fantasy is going to be moving out with this Medic Marine and Tank force, and hopefully he won't die from Jaedong's Lurkers. It does not look like he's going to. And if Jaedong can snipe that vessel, that will be pretty good. And that Overlord is probably going to die. And there's the vessel having to run away from those Scourge. Looks like Fantasy now moving up. Jaedong forced to move back because he does not have very much stuff. And there is the Defiler mound out, so Jaedong probably gonna start to make fewer Mutalisks and bunch more Lings, and then he's probably gonna be you know, just gonna try to push in before Fantasy gets a huge amount of units. And now Fantasy moving in. It looks like Jaedong's going to go in from the top, try to catch Fantasy off guard from behind. And it looks like Jaedong might be going in for an attack now, actually. He might be trying to go for a flank. He's just going to try to attack with those couple Lurkers in the front and then go in from the back. And if this works, and Fantasy's fleet is destroyed, Fantasy could be losing. And a Science Vessel almost getting a Scourge hit on it, but not. And yeah, it looks like Fantasy is moving in now. Jaedong does not yet have Dark Swarm, and he probably won't have it for another half minute to a minute. And it looks like he's now moving in, and there's Dark Swarm. I totally lied. And it looks like, here's the attack. It looks like if Jaedong can get this flank off successfully, Fantasy will probably lose this game. And it looks like the flank not working very well. All of Jaedong's forces are gone completely. And it looks like Fantasy just has a bunch of tanks. And it looks like Fantasy will be winning this game. He is going into Jaedong's natural expansion. Looks like a bunch of Mutalisks just dying for no reason. And it looks like Fantasy will win this game. I just don't think that Jaedong has the forces to win this game, just a bunch more Marines coming out. I'm not sure if those two medics in the other force are enough for all these Marines. But yeah, Jaedong trying to expand again, but it is going to get caught, and he won't be able to expand there. And now, Fantasy just basically has complete map control, while Jaedong is unable to keep his forces alive. And actually, Jaedong getting a science vessel and getting hit on another science vessel, so that's good. But that expansion is going to be shut down, and Fantasy is only going to be one base down from Jaedong, which is a nice thing if you're the Terran player, only being one base down from a Zerg player. That's where you want to be. And with larger force, I believe Fantasy is going to win this game. Jaedong's going to lose, and it looks like Jaedong trying to get some Scourge in on those science vessels. It is going to fail. And yeah, a couple Lurkers actually managing to deal some damage, but they probably won't do that much. And yep, it looks like Fantasy is going to go in for an attack, and Jaedong's going to attempt to defend it. I don't think he will be able to defend it, though. Fantasy does not have that very many science vessels, though. He only has 4, and it looks like a couple of them might be getting taken out. And one of them actually does get taken out, so, yeah, if Fantasy doesn't make any more science vessels, Fantasy could be losing this game. And Fantasy trying to get a third base up, but I'm assuming there's something burrowed there. And now it looks like Fantasy might be going for a drop in Jaedong's main, just to try to kill a couple of the tech buildings. And it looks like Jaedong actually getting a nice surround on Fantasy's units, and a bunch of them are dying, and that person was just staring. She was like, oh my god, Jaedong is actually doing stuff. And it looks like Jaedong does see the dropship, and he is trying to expand here as well. And there's an SCV in there for some reason. That expansion is going to get taken out. He's probably going to go into the main, but Jaedong knows, and there are Lings there now. So we'll see what Jaedong can do, if he can get off a successful attack, because he actually managed to get rid of Fantasy's forces pretty well, and a drone just getting out there, and actually Fantasy dropping and Jaedong not paying attention right there. And so it looks like these Lings are not going to be able to kill these Medic Marines, and so Fantasy is going to attack the spawning pool, so he cannot make any cracklings anymore. And so if Jaedong can manage to get rid of this force, he will be in a pretty good position, but I still think Fantasy will be able to take care of this pretty easily. There's not much that Jaedong will be able to do. Jaedong defeating that force in the top right, but he's not doing anything with those 4 Lings, and he's probably not going to, because he's probably focusing on his main base right now. And one of his extractors go down, and so this does not look like it's going to be great for Jaedong if that extractor does manage to go down. That extractor is almost gone, and that Marine is running for its life. And Fantasy actually has another Marine there. I'm not sure if he noticed it. He probably didn't, because he was only having one attack that extractor. But yeah, that Medic Marine little force is actually still in his base, and both of the Marines survive actually. And it looks like these are going to survive. It's crazy. That's pretty intense. And now more Medic Marines getting dropped. That Lurker not actually killing anything. I'm not sure if Fantasy has enough for a scan, though. And there's the scan. There's the dropship getting taken out. But it could be too late for Jaedong. There are a bunch of Medic Marines in his base. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anything. And there's a small attack in the middle, which Fantasy is going to win with his large Medic Marine force. And, yeah, I think this is going to be GG for Jaedong. So, Jaedong GG's. This is the end of the game. And, yeah, Fantasy winning that game. And Jaedong right there, he's, like, furious. He's like, I'm going to kill you, Fantasy. And then there's Fantasy winning the game. GG, I hope you enjoyed that. Try to make it exciting, but I usually fail. There's Fantasy going to, go for some sort of a victory, whatever, I don't know. And I'm going to be going on to set 2 after this. I hope I'm getting better at this whole commentating thing. There's Jaedong. He is very disappointed in life. In general, he is slumping, period. He's just had so many things to train for. He's had Pro League, he's had MSL, he's had OSL, and he's out of the MSL now. So the OSL is the last tournament he can ever be in for this rest of the now. So their signs, they say probably really cool stuff or really cheesy stuff. And yeah, GG. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next game.